Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel. Would you like to know how to make this stunning, delicious cake? Well, join me in this video and I will show you how. This recipe calls for some roasted pecans, and I had about a cup's worth of pecans and the rest were walnuts. So 2 cups total. Both are interchangeable, no big deal. So I roasted those in the oven for a while and then I gave them a rough chop. And now we're going to brown the butter for our frosting because it takes just a little bit to cool. So basically, you put it on the stove between a medium high, and you don't want to burn it, but basically you're going to let it bubble like this until it starts to foam up. As you can see, it's just starting to bubble up, and you're going to stir it very vigorously so it doesn't burn at the bottom. And basically, you're looking for just about the color of wheat. Some brown sugar and some regular white sugar, and I just melted butter. I didn't brown this one. You could if you wanted to, but it's not a necessary step in this. And then you're going to blend it up. A very necessary step in this cake, you want to sift your dry ingredients. So to my sifted flour, I'm going to be adding some cinnamon and baking powder and a little bit of salt. In this recipe, the sugar mixture and the dry mixture has salt added, but I didn't add it to my sugar mixture because my butter already had some salt. And then 1 cup of milk, and what I had was just some half and half. You could use oat milk, almond milk. And I added 4 room temperature eggs. Just mixing the wet ingredients into the dry, a heaping spoonful at a time. And then for the very last step, you will add about 3/4 of your walnut pecan mixture. And then nothing too crazy here, just adding my mixture as evenly as possible into 2 8-inch rounds. And now let's work on that frosting. I didn't put my butter in the fridge. I just let it cool a little bit on the stove. And I could have almost let it cool even less time. Because what I did was I made my frosting and then I kind of stuck it in the fridge while I waited for my cakes to cool, which it's a very like butter heavy frosting and it's delicious. But if you let it sit in the fridge, it kind of hardens just a little bit. So to note for next time, just leave it at room temp. All right, now we're going to make our simple bourbon syrup to put in between each layers of your cake. And basically you're going to let this go until it comes to a boil. You're going to take it off the heat and then add your bourbon of choice. This cake was actually for my husband's birthday, and he loves bourbon and whiskey and that sort of thing, and so that was kind of my inspiration for this cake. When your layers have had time to chill, you're going to very carefully take a very long knife, if you have it, and gently kind of grasp the top of the cake, and then carefully run your knife through it. I didn't have any plastic wrap. The one thing I didn't have to cover my layers and put them in the freezer to really kind of make it easier to cut. So I did what I could with just chilling it in the fridge. And as you saw there, I took some of that simple syrup and I just drizzled it on the top of each layer. And you want to do this pretty generously. It's very delicious. It doesn't have like a strong alcohol flavor at all because the cake soaks it up. It's really, really delicious. And you really can't overdo it because this cake just sort of, it soaks it up. And then as you saw my frosting, it cooled in the fridge for a little longer than I needed it to. And so I have to kind of spread it out. We're getting closer. As my frosting became more room temperature, it was much easier to work with. And I think it actually looks pretty great. And then for your little showstopper, at the very top, I added the rest of my pecan walnut mixture. And there you have it. That is the finished product. Serve with a little serving size of bourbon or whiskey of your choice. And this was a very delicious cake. A small piece will do you because it's very gourmet. Thank you all for watching. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do so, and I will see you next time.